Hello, everybody. Welcome to another KIPS vlog. My name is Tyler Valencia, president of KIPS. Today I have with me Dr. Ayla Donlin. She is the director of the Life Fit Center at Long Beach State, California. Also advisor in the exercise and medicine, a Johnny G Method Master Instructor, and a MyZone Master Instructor. How you doing today, Ayla?
I'm doing great, Tyler. Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. So just to give everybody a little background, Ayla was actually one of my professors in my undergraduate at Long Beach State. So her and I go back in terms of how she helped shape, honestly, my undergraduate education. She taught many of my courses, and it's amazing to be able to connect with her on this vlog today.
Well, thank you. I'm honored by that.
Yes, yes, definitely, of course. And so today we're going to talk about group exercise and MyZone. Right now, KIPS has a group exercise certification out there. And in this course, what we tried to do in developing it was create a certification that I'll say raised the bar with education for group exercise instructors. So not only do we have a more in-depth exercise science chapter, but really a chapter on special populations that we'll expand on in a bit, that we're trying to give the tools to group exercise instructors that when they go and teach their class, if they see somebody that might be at high risk or they know that might have a special condition, they can go up to them and give them a recommendation and feel comfortable in doing that. That's the key, is being comfortable with your knowledge and being able to, give a recommendation out to someone in the group exercise setting. And that's something that we really haven't seen with the education for group exercisers, because we'll typically see that with the personal trainers. So MyZone is a great product out there. So Ayla, could you actually give us a background with MyZone and its influence on group exercise?
Yeah, you bet I can. So MyZone is a heart rate monitor. It's a belt, but the system is so much more than that. So we call it the MyZone telemetric heart rate monitoring system. It was originally designed to be a member engagement and retention tool within health and fitness facilities. So as a club owner or manager, I would purchase MyZone and hold a license and sell the MyZone belts within my facility. And then my clients would purchase the belt. And as they were wearing their belts, I could see real time by displaying on a screen their exercise intensity. So what the MyZone tile is what we call it offers you is your percentage of maximal heart rate, but it's also color coded, which we find makes it much more intuitive for people to understand. So it goes from gray to blue, green, yellow, and red, and I can unpack that more later, but it goes from lower or moderate intensity all the way up to high intensity so that folks can know where they're at. And then as group fitness instructors or personal trainers, we can be coaching people not only with percentage of maximal heart rate, but by color so that it's a little bit more understandable. So that, I mean, that touches on what you were saying, Tyler, in terms of the importance of knowing the exercise science, the exercise physiology behind it and behind heart rate training, but then being able to put it into language or terminology that your participants or your clients are going to understand. And I think MyZone's done a great job of that.
Oh, yeah.
So in addition to showing the different intensity as far as your percentage of maximal heart rate and the color coding, your tile also shows you your actual heart rate in beats per minute, and it shows you the number of calories that you're expending during that session. And you're also earning MyZone effort points as you are exercising, and you earn points per minute that you're in the various zones. And MyZone has paralleled that with the World Health Organization and American College of Sports Medicine guidelines. So folks are incentivized to meet the minimum recommended guidelines and earn a certain number of MyZone effort points per week and per month, and then they get rewarded based on that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great overall tool. I actually remember in one of the classes you instructed me, we did it for a spin class, and it was a great tool to not only be strapped up to something and it's a little extra motivation, but being able to track yourself against some people are competitive. We all know that, and being able to see where you kind of, but also as you go through the different zones, seeing how your body reacts, and that's a part of I'll say newer group exercise classes that people really enjoy. They like to see how their body is progressing, being able to see the results on a screen and being able to know that they're getting that benefit that that they can take home and be like, okay, I felt accomplished. Now next day I want to go back and I want to beat that. So really great tool right there.
Right.
So with the MyZone and group exercise,
Mhm.
and especially jumping into more of, I'll say, the HIIT classes today, how can you
Yeah.
do you see a lot of MyZone integrating with HIIT classes, or maybe a body pump, or something that is of more high intensity with equipment?
Absolutely. And I think one of the benefits is that you're getting objective feedback as you perform that type of exercise. So instead of guessing, when you're in your work phase of your high intensity interval, kind of guessing where you are, and when you're in your recovery phase, guessing where you are or using rate of perceived exertion, now you have an objective target. So I can say, all right, I want everybody to be in yellow or red, which would be 80 to 89% or 90% and above of max heart rate. During the work phase, we're going to hit yellow or red for 1 minute, and then we're going to recover down for 1 minute and see if you can hit or touch green, which is 70 to 79% of max heart rate. So now I'm giving parameters that I want people to be at on the high intensity work phase and then the recovery phase. So
Nice.
I think I see it applied all the time in that context.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
So as we've been kind of building off right here, how the MyZone makes exercise in general more efficient, what would you say
Mm-hmm.
the application? You build off the application a little more for group exercise instructors. So what does the facility need, or the group exercise instructor need to apply it to their class?
Yeah, and we call it making movement measurable. So I think what the group exercise instructor needs is a working knowledge of heart rate training. So when I'm working at various intensities, what does that mean in terms of the energy systems that I'm using, right, and the metabolic pathways? So the group exercise instructor should have a rough understanding of that so we can be coaching our participants accordingly. And the zones are designed to be very easily understandable in that way. So I'll walk you through each of those color-coded zones, as I mentioned. And of course, the instructor would need to have a working knowledge of what each zone was and how that related to exercise intensity. So gray is between 50 and 59% of max heart rate, a moderate intensity zone. Blue, 60 to 69% of max heart rate. Green, 70 to 79%. As I mentioned before, yellow is 80 to 89%, and red, 90% and above. So once we get to about 75% of max heart rate, that's considered vigorous intensity. So mid-green and up, vigorous intensity, and then below 75% down to 50% would be moderate intensity. And that way, as the group exercise instructor, I can be using language and terminology to coach my participants about the value of being in each zone, right? So when you're newer to exercise, you're doing base building, steady state training in the blue and the green zones. When you become more advanced with your exercise, you can do tempo training or high intensity interval training up in the yellow and the red zones. And maybe I'm working more on anaerobic threshold type of activities versus steady state, more aerobic activities. And so the group exercise instructor would need to know information about heart rate training and heart rate physiology in order to really be able to share that with the participants.
Yeah, but once they do have this knowledge, you can just see
Mm-hmm.
how much it builds in terms of their profile as a trainer, as a group exercise instructor,
Yeah.
giving this information to the clients, building a relationship that they trust, they know that it's
Yeah.
from science. It really builds up not only the trainer but the facility as well. That the
Yeah.
facility having this tool for the group
Mm-hmm.
exercise classes is just another added benefit. And I know that you mentioned in the beginning that it started out as a retention tool, but it
Mm-hmm.
goes around full circle with
Mm-hmm.
retention, but also with building up that instructor. But then the clients really getting something that they can take home, that they know that that's helping them get to their goal, whatever that goal might be.
Yeah. Yep.
So, well, can we give a little more information on where they can get a MyZone? Is it just strictly for the clubs, or can a group exercise instructor or a personal trainer just go purchase something themselves?
Yes, so that's where it's expanded beyond now just fitness facilities. The MyZone belt is available to anyone, anywhere. You can go to myzone.org, and the new model of the belt, the MZ3, is Bluetooth. So it communicates with your phone. It's also ANT Plus, so it still communicates with all of the fitness equipment that you would be on at a fitness facility. So it'll sync with your treadmill, your elliptical, and you'll get to read your heart rate monitor that way.
Wow.
But one of the things that I really love about MyZone, what I think makes it so valuable, is that so the Bluetooth communicates to your phone, and all of the data uploads to a cloud, and you can access it via your user page. And so I can go on, and I've been using MyZone since 2013, I think. And so I can go on and I could go back and look at data from my workouts in 2013. So I could say, man, I remember feeling like super fit during this season. I want to go back and look at what was I doing? How was I training that made me, that produced those types of effects?
Yeah.
And so it gives you the ability to go back and check that out. And then there's also a social connection feature. So if you and I are social connections on MyZone and we sign on to our user page or we open our MyZone app, then I can see all of your workouts and you can see all of mine. So that's a great tool as a group exercise instructor or personal trainer as well. I can see everything that my clients are doing and hold them accountable for that.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Yeah, so many different applications right there. And something
Yep.
to touch on that really struck something in my mind was how usual during a personal training consultation, there's always that question of, well, what during your life that what period did you feel most fit? What type of
Yep.
exercise? And this tool allows you to really access that information and create a program that's more individualized to that person. And as
Yep.
our industry grows for training in general, the more individualized a program is for the client, whether it's in personal training or in group exercise, the more results we'll see, and hopefully keep these members a part of a health club facility. So, very awesome tool right there. Ayla,
Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for coming on and talking about MyZone and its application to group exercise, personal training. So many bits of information out there for someone just starting out or someone that's been in the industry. Um,
Yep.
Everybody, this is Ayla, Dr. Ayla Donlin. She is the director of the Life Fit Center at Long Beach State, California, advisor in the exercise and medicine, Johnny G Method Master Instructor, and MyZone Master Trainer. So
Yes, sir.
some things right there. So Ayla, again, thank you so much. And, I can't thank you enough for talking today, but also sharing your information.
Oh, you're so welcome. And Tyler, I'll just give people a little more information as far as where they can go for resources. So, like I mentioned, www.myzone.org. There's also a MyZone Facebook page that people can access. So, just search for MyZone on Facebook. And then MyZone Moves has its own YouTube channel. So, you can go to YouTube and check out MyZone Moves. And then my co-master trainer, Emily Sopo, and I host a podcast, the MyZone Moves podcast, that people can find on iTunes and Google Play, so they can get more information there as well.
There it is. And I know that I've actually watched one of you and Emily actually do a, what is it, for Fridays. Every Friday you guys post.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, right now it's Thursday, tomorrow will be Friday, there will be a video
Yep.
there. You guys can check out Ayla and her partner in crime, Emily.
That's right. It's Fitness Friday live at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time.
There we go.
That's on Facebook. So it's Facebook Live every Friday.
Perfect.
Yep.
Awesome stuff. Thank you again, Ayla. And that was another great KIPS vlog for you guys.